Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Howard Young, and I'll be speaking to you today about Lev Vygotsky. Lev Vygotsky was a 20th century Russian psychologist, and he believed in children learning through cultural and psychological tools. And his theory was constructivism. Constructivism is a learning process by which knowledge is slowly built into the child. Like you're giving them a little bit of knowledge at a time, and it over time it builds and adds up. As a former construction worker, constructivity is a great way to tie in Lev Vygotsky's theories into child development. So one of the things he also speaks about is intersubjectivity in groups. Intersubjectivity in groups is putting children into groups with differing levels of knowledge of a subject and them working together to find a common goal. As a math teacher, we do this a lot. In the construction business, it would be once you have the frame of a house, all of the other guys come in and it's to finish the house. So you have roofers, siders, people who do windows, the people who do doors, the carpet, other flooring guys, people who do trim. But in the end, they all work together to get to the end goal, which is a built house. So intersubjectivity in groups, the children work together, the learners work together as a group to get to a final destination. So to build the house, to get to the knowledge that they're looking for. Another way groups help is through scaffolding. Scaffolding with learners is the same as in the construction field. So a child that has an issue, you provide scaffolding, which could be help or some type of support until the learner doesn't need it anymore. In construction, scaffolding would be used for people who have to work higher up. You'll need it because just for the risk of falling, and it's security and it's help until it's not needed. Scaffolding gets torn down once you're done with it. It works the same with learners. Excuse me. Another theory of Vygotsky is internalization. Internalization is, in layman's terms, the end result of the all of the learning that you've been slowly doing over time. So it's basically an accumulation of the knowledge over time, which is how most want knowledge. It's the best way to receive it is a little at a time. You don't want to just dump a child into like astrophysics. You'll slowly start them with their ABCs and you'll work your way there. So one of the things that comes out of Vygotsky's theories is the zone of proximal development. With this zone of proximal development, it's basically an area of learning between what a learner knows, and on their own, what they can do on their own, and what they can do through the help of MKOs, more knowledgeable others. More knowledgeable others could be you as a parent, it could be me as a teacher, or it could actually be one of their peers helping them in a group setting. And the third zone of the ZPD is the out of reach zone. I mentioned a second ago astrophysics. I'm a good mathematician. I have a lot of construction in my background, but I won't be an astrophysicist by no stretch of the imagination. And in my studies, I've seen different versions of the ZPD, the zone of proximal development. One that really caught my eye is this one. It's different than most of them because it uses the ZPD as a separate zone from what a child can do with help. And I found it very interesting for a lot of reasons as I was doing my research. So they still have what a child can do on their own. This is what a child can do with help, and this is what a child can do even without help. So this is all of these were in the previous slide that I showed you. The zone of proximal development has been it's separated in this one, and in my studies I liked it because it showed that this is where we teach. This is where the best results of us actually teaching. So we can say we'll use math. That's what I teach. So we'll say this is a child that comes in and they have factoring pretty good. They know their multiplication. Maybe they struggle with factoring a little bit. I can help them factor at this point. But if I can go here and teach them, this zone grows. So what you want to do is use scaffolding. This is where scaffolding is. You want to use scaffolding until the learner can internalize the content themselves. And like with all things, no matter what you do, there will always be some content that we can't get as learners. I've struggled with a lot of things, like I said, I'm a math guy and I can do certain things in construction. So I've done foundations, which is here. This is the foundation. This is where we're all working to build this house. So this is every crew, this is every group. But we can build a house here. This is like designing a school building or a bank or a fort. You don't have that knowledge with general contractors. And that concludes my talk. Thank you.